What is up, guys? Rice Vlogs back with another video. Thanks for clicking on the link and checking things out. Today's gonna be a banger. I got some exciting news for the car. I got some parts in the mail. I got some still coming, but we're about to do another step in this build. I'm super stoked for it, as you can tell. The car is gonna be looking a lot better, sounding a lot better, and just feeling a lot better. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump straight into it and show you guys what we got. Let's get it. Alright guys, so today we are going to be addressing these dual exhaust tips that are actually fake AF. So as you can see, this is just a plastic piece of the bumper here basically. There's a couple little tabs underneath that you can undo, pop them out, and then I'm actually going to be swapping out this stock exhaust anyway and putting in a nice dual exhaust setup. People who wouldn't want to do, an aftermarket exhaust and keep things stock, but get rid of these, they've been just blacking them out and whatnot, but I'm just going to get rid of them, get a nice dual exhaust setup. So let's get right into it.
So we are here at the bottom of the car, and here's this fake exhaust vent that I was saying, and going underneath here you can see that there's just a couple of little pieces here that need to get popped loose, and this little fake vent along with the other one will pop right out. So I'm going to be doing that next. There goes one, just like that, just those two pop tabs, and just a little bit of force, we popped it right out. Bye-bye, fake exhaust vents. And as you guys can see while we're down here, here's the stock exhaust that's going to be coming out. And I'll show you guys right away. Here is the Remark dual exhaust that's going to be going in. See Remark right there. So we got a Catback here, so going to be this pipe here that's going to be replaced, and then the dual exhaust tips. So now it's just a matter of getting that old exhaust out. Planning on keeping this blue strip, then I would have to come in here and cut this out to make room for the aftermarket exhaust, but I'm actually just going to get rid of this blue strip altogether and just have the exhaust down here. So there's probably a couple more tabs that I have to pop out, and then I'll get this blue piece off. So let me get back down on the ground here and get that off. So there's a handful of those pop rivets that are down here, so I just need to get these popped out now. Alright, so coming underneath the bumper then, there is a couple of these little black tabs here with a little push piece that you need to go through and loosen up. And the blue piece that I'm removing actually slides towards the car instead of off of the car. So now that and there's actually two screws, Phillips screws, that I gotta get clicked, so let me get that. Phillips head screw that was over here, and a Phillips head screw that was over here, so I undid those. Like I said, undid all these little black push tabs. Like, they're all basically it slides and clicks into the spot, but then you push this little piece and then it releases it, and yeah, like like that pretty much. This whole thing did pretty much then just fall out of here. So yeah, now we got rid of this. We won't be needing that, and We got 2 fake exhaust tips. Won't be needing these. So throw them over there, and now we just have a clean open back end here. You know, there's a decent amount of people that have done stuff to these cars yet, but it's still hard to tell, like on video and things like that, how the exhaust sounds exactly. And I asked a lot of people, like, does it drone? How is it on the highway? You know, especially being a newer car, I still want some, you know, comfortable rides and stuff like that, but it is what it is. You know, obviously I want it to be, you know, a little noisy and stuff like that too, but still dailyable where I don't get sick of it. But these cars are pretty soundproofed actually for being just a Corolla. So I'm hoping and thinking that it'll just have a good noise to it, and I'll hear it inside the car a little bit, but outside obviously it'll be louder, and I hope that it's still like I can talk to people in the car and be able to, you know, drive on road trips and stuff like that. But we'll see if it comes down to it. I can always take it off, put the stock one back on, so we'll just check it out and see how it goes. Kind of a little trial and error here, and you know, hopefully I like how it sounds and how it is. But it was one of my favorite options for the look of the car and such, so let's just get it put on now. Alright, so I just jacked up the car quick just to get underneath it a little better. Even though it's still on stock ride height, it was pretty easy to get underneath here at the back. But now I need to actually get underneath the car, so I'll jack it up. And I was just kind of looking at the exhaust, and it's actually a super simple change out. To get rid of this old exhaust, it's all one continuous piece from the cat all the way back. So I got 2 bolts to take off, and this whole system's going to be just hanging. So I pop all the hangers, and this thing will be on the ground. So it's going to be super quick, super easy. One thing I was going to address though is I will give you guys a quick sound clip with this stock exhaust just so you can kind of hear what it sounds like stock. I'll set you down here and we'll start the car up quick so you guys can hear it. Alright, so I just did that stock exhaust sound clip for you guys quick. As you can see, it was basically just wind noise. There's not much going on there. It's all going to be quiet from factory just because that's what Toyota wants to do. But now I will throw on that new exhaust. I'll first pull this old one out, do a little comparison of the size of it, like the piping and everything like that, and the shape. And then, yeah, we'll get that new exhaust fired up and get some sound clips of that. So let's keep going. Alright, so this is going to be a little hard to record underneath here, but as you guys can see, here is the stock exhaust. Huge muffler back here that takes up this whole area back here. And then it just kind of goes straight into the middle of it here with this really small diameter piping. I'm not sure if this is like maybe 1.5 inches, to be honest. It's pretty small. It goes straight through, and the cat's up there where the pipe ends. This exhaust outlet here is maybe like 1.75 inches, maybe 2 inch, but it's still really small. Like you guys can see, I can almost I can wrap my fingers around it, you know, so that's pretty small. This one's even smaller, like I said, but no bolts here. Everything's just straight welded. All the way back we go, and eventually you guys will see that there is a exhaust clamp here, and right there is the cat. So we are right where we need to be with just taking off 2 bolts and dropping this exhaust from the hangers. So I'll set you guys down and get this thing undone. Just like that, it's separated. And now we just got to go through and undo every single hanger, which they can be a pain in the butt sometimes, so I'll just show you guys the points of them all. Here's one of them, and then another one is here, and there's 2 in the back, one on each side of the muffler, one there, one there. So I'm just gonna pop all those loose, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, so actually these hangers were not so bad. I just took them and pulled on them with my hands and they popped right out. I don't know if it's because everything's so fresh that, you know, they're not all crusted on there and everything. Everything's so new that, you know, everything came apart really easy, just like the exhaust bolts. Usually those would be a pain in the butt, but this thing only has 3,000 miles on it, so I suppose. But as you guys can see, here is the old stock Catback exhaust. Like I said, this thing is so tiny. I don't even know, this is so small compared to the new diameter. There's a little comparison. So like I said, you go from something as small as this to as big as this. I can wrap my hand around, but my fingers won't touch. So this is a lot beefier setup. So we're gonna allow some more air. It does kind of choke off here, which I thought was kind of strange. I believe this is what goes to the Cat, but it's still a little bit bigger than that. And I noticed the actual piping coming off the Cat. I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, I know the Cat's gonna be restrictive, but you know, it's at least bigger than this opening here. So yeah, I'm just gonna start getting everything mocked up underneath, get the piping hanging, and then I'll get everything bolted in. Alright, so here is the Remark quad exhaust. This is kind of the muffler part, you could consider it, with the tips. So as you can see, quad, and then you got a Y pipe there. I already hung the other piece of it, but this is what we're really looking for in this exhaust, is this nice aggressive quad tip. So this is, like I said, Remark. I've never really heard of their brand before until now, but a lot of people are putting these on their Corolla hatchback, so you know, I figured I wanted to do it as well, just with how the look is and everything. They do have an option to get a burnt blue tip for like an extra like 120 bucks, but I just didn't really want to spend the extra money just to have a little blue on the end. There's already enough blue on this car too. So yeah, we got this, and then it was around, I think, $600 or $700 for the whole Catback system. So take it as you will, but it's worth it to me. It's a quality exhaust. There's really nice welds on here. They have their name engraved there, and all the tips have, like I showed you earlier, that Remark on there. So definitely not cheap brand, I don't think, considering other options like getting a Gretty exhaust, getting the MagnaFlow. I think they have NVIDIA too, I'm not sure, but there's a few different ones, all different styles. There's center exits, just like that angled single exit out the side, but being a hatchback, I figured the quad exit looked the best. So I'm gonna quit talking, and I'm just gonna get this puppy mounted up so you guys can make your own opinions on it. So let's get it. Woo! So as of right now, the car has the exhaust on it, but it's just hanging. It's not actually all bolted up yet, but just for a little sneak peek, as you guys can see, this nice quad exit exhaust is looking really slick on here. I like the way that the bumper is right now too, just because it might be kind of hard to see, but the way that the old piece was on there, there's like a perfect cutout that bumps up and then bumps back down. Same thing over here, kind of bumps up, bumps back down. So perfectly placed for the exhaust. And then you got this sick looking Y pipe in here that you can just see underneath the car. Might be harder to see later once this thing's lowered, obviously, but still can probably catch it from a glance, you know, from farther away. But now I just got to get some gaskets put in there, get it bolted together there, and bolted all the way at the back by the cat. So get that done quick, and then I'll get some exhaust or some sound clips for this thing. See, this is how the Remark quad exhaust looks on this car without that blue piece that I had on there and the fake exhaust vents, obviously. So it does look really aggressive now. I do like how you can see underneath and actually see that Y pipe and everything, but it does look a little bit naked. There is a pretty big gap here, so I actually have something a little extra to add some flair to the back of this, make it look a little nicer, make the car look a little lower, things of that nature. So I'm gonna throw that on now right away just so you guys can see that, but I'll show you guys right now what I got. This here is a Tom's diffuser for the Corolla hatch. So this guy is a pretty pricey piece, honestly. It's about maybe $500 just for this one piece. It did come with some flares for like the side and stuff, which I'm debating to put on or not. But it's a super simple piece to put on, and it definitely helps, like I said, make this car look a lot more aggressive. So as you can see, this is how it would look now versus if I just kind of mock it up here. Just for a mocking's sake, just to kind of see this is how it looks after. So it definitely helps look a lot more aggressive. You have these nice diffuser vents here to give it some flair, and then it kind of pops out, bumps out and everything, and looks really aggressive. And there's only a few things that I need to put on underneath to help hold it in place. So it's going to be a super simple install, so I'll get this all tidied up so you guys can see it on there, and then we'll get a sound clip for this thing. So I kind of had to prep this thing up a little bit. It came with a roll of like double-sided tape, so I just threw some across the top here, this top over here all the way to the side, same thing over here. So I wasn't gonna, because it did seem like it was like barely any gap and pretty close, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, maybe I should just kind of throw a little bit on there just to help, you know, make it nice and tight. And this will also kind of protect this shiny gloss black piece here from getting like scratched or anything like that from this plastic on there, because it's gonna probably move a little bit without this. So I just decided, you know what, it came with it, I'll use it. You know, I always feel like it would always be better to have fasteners, but it is what it is, man. I mean, these cars aren't very well put together as it is, just being, you know, a more of an economy Japanese car, but yeah, so it's just an extra little step to have on there to help protect it and hold it on. So I'm gonna just wipe down the rest of this with like an alcohol pad and stuff too to kind of prep it, and then I'll get this thrown back on there. So I'm gonna move you guys a little closer and get that put up. Alright, so I just wiped this all down with the alcohol pad that it gave me, and now I'll just kind of get it set up back in there and get it pressed in nice. I'm going to get these tabs popped in first so I know it's where it needs to be. The only thing I hate is like this is pretty easy to take on and off, so hopefully it never gets like stolen or anything, but I'm sure it probably isn't really worth much to many people just because this isn't a super common car. So now that I kind of got it where it needs to be, I can just kind of push this on, you know, just kind of give it some pressure and make everything stick where it needs to. And that's pretty much it. Super easy, super simple, just nice, tasteful piece on there. And it just works perfect with this quad exit exhaust. So I'm just going to show you guys through here so you can see we got a nice finished look now with this diffuser on here. Definitely worth the little bit extra money that I had to spend in order to get that nice, more aggressive look for a hatch. So this is, like I said, this is the Tom's diffuser for the Corolla hatchback, and then again this is the Remark exhaust. So let's get a frickin' sound clip now. It's really not too loud for like a dailyable exhaust setup, so this is actually perfect for what I wanted. Just for, like I said, the sake of not wanting it to be, you know, like as loud as the Miata or something like that, just because the Miata, I go for a ride somewhere, even if it's only a couple minutes, and I'm freaking basically deaf wherever I get, so this is probably perfect. Just nice and subtle, gives it a little bit noise so I can hear it, kind of get the feel for the car. It does open up the car a little bit more and just kind of gives it that, you know, that hot boy look that I was kind of going for, you know, with that nice quad exit exhaust, all 4 tips there. Like, this is just how the car should look from factory, honestly, but I know it's just an economy car, so, you know, with this spoiler option, definitely gives it a nice look for that rear of the car. And now it's going to sound good too, and the intake's doing good too. Still have that on the car, making a lot of noise whenever I give it some gas, so now I'm going to have this to complement it. So again, this is just a Catback. For the time being, I'm going to just be doing this. In the future, I may go with a full, basically full header all the way back and have the full exhaust system, but for now I'm just doing the Catback for being a daily and everything. Winter's coming soon too, so I'm not trying to, you know, be driving this around screaming everywhere I go. So next up, we're gonna have some nice wheels and tires coming, and I got a few other bits to come. Another thing I'll just show you guys quick is I threw on these mirror caps. Nothing major. I didn't really show it because they're literally just a cap that pops on, but they just have a bit of a wing on it, like a flare. Kind of like some of those BMWs have from factory, stuff like that. So definitely kind of makes the car look a little more aggressive from the front and the back. And that gloss black helps protect the mirrors as well. A lot of bugs and things like that collect up on the mirrors. Now it's just going to go on that cap. So yeah, just a nice little tasteful upgrade. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up for today, guys. Really appreciate you guys checking it out. I hope you liked the video. If you do, make sure you drop a like. Comment down below what you think. Comment, you know, how you're feeling about this build so far. And yeah, make sure you subscribe, because if you want to see where this car is going to end up, trust me, it's going to be way better than it is right now. This is just the beginning, so I have a lot for this car coming. So yeah, like I said, make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.